Okay, boys, another video. April 1st. I'm not, none of my videos you guys see are gonna be edited or anything like that. I like to keep everything super raw, so hopefully you don't have the attention span of a goldfish and you make it to the end of this video because it's going to be packed with a whole bunch of value. So as you guys can see from the title, the number one reason construction owners lose their job to competitors, right, is because they never see you guys. So let's kind of just get into everything, right? I made a whole Miro board presentation so you guys don't have to see my ugly face talk about this. So I made it nice and neat for you guys right here. So hopefully this moves, right? So this is why you guys lose your job to competitors, right? You guys are always like, oh, blah, 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 always talking about competition in your area. Competition is getting way too advanced. I don't know what to do, and I'm still relying off of referrals and word of mouth, right? So if I'm being like completely, let's just dive into, right, let's just dive into homeowner uh googling your competitors, right? When a homeowner just googled roofing or just googled like bathrooms in your area, make sure you guys can see my face. My face in the camera, is it? Let me just double check. Okay, it is. It is. Okay. Boom. Okay. Right. So when a homeowner just googled, oh, bathroom remodeler or siding near me, or fencing near me, concrete near me, driveway construction near me, or something like that along the lines of that. SEO. They found your competitor. They called him. They booked him in, and you're sitting there wondering why you never got the call. Right? You have no idea why they called the other guy, but they didn't call you. Right? So now in this video, we're basically going to break down why that happens, how you're losing jobs because of it, and what you need to do to fix it, right? So let's just dive into it, I guess, right? First section, the problem, right? So it's not that you guys could have amazing work. Your work quality could be amazing. You might have the best work, best prices, best material in town. It's not that you guys are more expensive. It's not that you guys don't have the skills. The problem is they do not know you guys exist. If they know you guys exist, you would have taken over the local area, right, in your area. But they don't know you exist. You might do the best work in your whole town, in your whole service area. Best work, best prices. But if these guys don't know you exist, someone else is taking that position for you, and they might not have the best work. They not might have the best crews. They might have the best materials, but they are positioned that way because of the way they present themselves online. Why is that the case? Because everything you do, especially now in this day and age, everything is online. How you position yourself and your company is all online, right? So somebody that's not doesn't even have the best skills, doesn't even have the best materials, doesn't even have the best crews. Their turnover rates are super slow, but they're positioning themselves like they're the best online. That's how people are going to perceive them as, even if they're not the best, even if you guys do it 10 times better. If they don't know you exist, if you're not positioning yourself online, you're already setting yourself up for failure, right? So that's the first problem, right? That's the first problem. So it's not you don't have the skills. It's not that you guys are more expensive. It's simply, these guys just don't know you exist. You exist. So let's dive into. Let me zoom out, right? Right. Um, why are your jobs losing? Let's just zoom this out, right? Kind of so you can get the whole map of it. So you know why are you guys losing jobs, right? We covered that they don't know that you exist. So this is why being visible really really matters, right? Because a homeowner, let's just say this, here's the psychology behind it. Let's just say a homeowner needs their bathroom done or their roof replaced, or their driveway done or something like that. They don't know who to call, so they go on what? They either go on Google, they go on social media platforms. um they start searching. They get online, so they start searching. The first three results that have been popping up. There's a reason why when you search something up or when you're scrolling online, there's a reason why everything pops up in an order, right? There's a reason why things get pushed up at the top, right? There's a reason. It's not just like, oh, you search it up. I mean, I don't know why my company is listed on the third page. Well, why can't it be on the first page at the first option? Why? It's because there's people running consistent marketing behind it. They have reviews, they have ads running. They've made themselves visible. They position themselves literally in front of the homeowner right when they search up something. They put themselves in that position, right? So these companies that have been running consistent marketing, they've put themselves in a position where it's the easiest for the homeowner to find them, right? So that's why your competitor shows up. That's why the homeowner calls them. That's why they take the job. You are not taking the job because you're sitting there relying on word of mouth, right? That doesn't work nowadays. It's slowly dying, right? You can't sit there and you don't know. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, my phone is gonna ring uh 13 more times for the next 2 weeks. You can't sit like you don't know when that's gonna happen, right? So you but they have what you don't is predictability, right? That's what they have. And right now you're sitting on zero visibility, which is a problem, right? So it's not personal, right? It's not because you're bad. It's not because the homeowner never knew you existed. It's because you're just not visible enough, right? People just don't know you, right? So here's what happens when you start getting visible, right? There's multiple ways you can start getting visible. You can start posting organic content. Organic content is the fastest way to reach people who don't know anything about your stuff, right? Organic content, so you could post TikToks, Instagram Reels, Facebook Shorts, YouTube Shorts. All of that stuff is organic content, right? What else is organic content? Um, Anything that's short form content, you post it up on any short form platform, clip it. That's short form content, right? If you're consistent with that, you can get a lot of traffic. You can build a lot of traffic coming in just by building that a local authority around in your area online and having that consistent social media base posting all the time, right? You're also building a parasocial connection with the homeowners in your area that's already putting you as a sense of, oh, we can trust this guy because we've seen all the work he does online, right? Um, because at the end of the day, the homeowner doesn't mind paying a couple extra $1,000s for someone that's actually going to do a good job, right? They're not looking for the cheapest guy in town. And that's the main thing right here. You want to build as much trust as you can with the homeowner, right? So it's pretty simple, right? So first month you start getting visible, you might get 3 leads, 4 leads, 5 leads, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? But over time, that starts to build momentum, right? People subscribe to your page, people follow to your page. It's so much more easier for the algorithm to pick up, especially if you're somebody that's on top of their stuff. It's not that hard to have that snowball effect built in, but you got to make sure to be on top of everything, be on top of the metrics, be on top of the data, look at it, study it, be on top of that stuff, right? So you have that snowball effect, you have that momentum going. So next time you post a video, you already have 34 comments, 50 likes within a half an hour, and people are already sharing your stuff. You already have calls coming in, uh, and appointments being booked onto your calendar, right? So this is not magic. It's literally just about showing up and positioning yourself where the homeowners are looking for. Right? And right now during the busy season, we're moving into April. Homeowners are actually visibly, they're looking for contractors to get done. So, all these social media platforms, you guys should be on there, be on top of it right now. If you're not visible in your local area, you're literally losing out on money as we speak, right? There's enough business out there to go around. There's no such thing as, oh, the competition is too high in my area. No, the only competition is that you are not being visible enough, right? So let's kind of do a little recap. So you have Google, you have Facebook, you have all of these sources you could start pulling business in from, right? Visibility, you're ability to go out there and put yourself in front of people equals leads, and that equals revenue, right? That equals money into your pocket. That's It's just simple math, right? It's just numbers, right? So this is why it matters, right? Homeowner needs roof. We already covered this. Homeowner needs roof. Top three results pop up. Homeowner gets a call. You don't pop up because you want to rely off word of mouth, and you want to not have a system behind you. You want to do everything by yourself, which is why you get zero calls and you don't make any action. You don't take any action. You just sit there thinking you know what you're doing, right? And that's the reason you've been there in that position for however long you've been in there for, right? In the same position, while other companies are scaling within a couple months, right? Um, Whoever's at the top gets the results, and then your pipeline starts to grow, right? Competitor gets calls, their pipeline starts to grow. Same thing, right? So now let's actually dive into the math, right? The real cost. What are you actually losing out on the table? Let's just say you do bathrooms, right? Your average ticket size for a bathroom is like 10K. You're in remodeling, right? Your competitor gets the jobs you should be getting, right? Because if you let's just say you're losing out on an extra 2 or 3 jobs per month, right? It's because you're invisible, right? That's at least like around, let's just say, let's do some math. That's around 200K per year you're losing out on. Let's just say, 2 jobs you're missing out on per month. That's like 12K in revenue. That's around, yeah, 288K per year you're leaving on the table just because you're not putting yourself in front of enough people. But now that's just 2 jobs. Imagine if it's 4 jobs, 6 jobs. Think about that. Think about how many jobs you're and how much cash you're leaving out on the table, right? Most contractors I talk to, they're losing out on so much revenue, and it's kind of sad to see, right? It's only just if they had that visibility in their area, and now that's just the cost. What's the cost? Like, people, some of you guys don't really internalize how deep this really goes, right? And how much you're actually leaving out on the table on what is the cost of being this invisible with your business, right? Um, Now, with that being said, hopefully some of you guys actually internalize this and understand. So let's go into how to fix it, right? Let's just say you're in a position right now, you don't know what to do. You're relying off of word of mouth, and you don't know how to start getting visible. So let's just kind of give you like a draft overview of an action plan for you guys right now, right? So there's a couple things you could start, right? If you have a Facebook page, make that. If you have a Google page, make that. If you have a TikTok, make that. If you have an Instagram, make that. Make anything online that makes you visible, make that, right? Now, if you have a website built out, cool, use it. Make sure you have a chat bot in there. Make sure you have some type of a way for them to contact you. Keep that in there. Don't just keep it like a plain old website. Make sure you have your stuff so if anyone visits you, they can contact you easily, right? You want to make sure it's low friction, right? You don't want to have 50 questions on the website, um, up on there. You want to make sure it's low friction so people can contact you easily, right? All of that stuff. Make sure all of your social medias are up and online, right? On Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff, right? Number two, you have to stay visible to your past clients. If you have a list, a database, start sending out newsletters on emails. You have your email, go ahead, start writing up newsletters, send out emails every month, right? Go ahead, start doing that consistently. Start posting on all of those platforms consistently every day, 3 times a day. What's gonna happen? Use your local targeting, like use your area, Utah. If you're in Utah, put the city name, hashtag city, contractor in Utah, remodeling in Utah. Use that stuff. Post it every day on all of those social media platforms, right? Make talking head videos. Put your face in it. Have someone talk in the videos, right? All of this stuff matters, and make sure you're on top of it every day. And over time, within the first month, you will start getting traffic. I promise you, you will start getting traffic if you do everything I just said and you're on top of it. You're posting every day. You're making sure the posts aren't actually shitty. You're not some garbage post of just a bathroom. Make sure they're actually engaging for the audience to watch. Make sure you're actually grabbing their attention in the first 3 seconds of the video, because that's what the algorithm optimizes for, because they want to keep you on the app for as long as possible. Make sure your videos are engaging. Then you will start to pull in traffic, because all of your social media platforms are generating watch time for your channel or your page, and that's what the app wants. They want people to stay on the app. So the longer and the more engaging your videos are, and the longer the viewer watches your video, the better your page is going to perform, right? So that's going to lead to more views coming in. That's how the algorithm pushes your stuff out, right? So if you're on top of it, you will start to get visible, start to build a reputation for your brand. You will start to attract more people to your page. They'll turn into followers. Once they turn into followers, oh, if they might need to get a bathroom done, they know who to call, because they've watched so much of your stuff. They could actually believe you, right? And think you do a good job, right? So that's how you can get visible, right? That's literally how you can build your own system to get visible in front of these guys, right? Make sure your reviews are on. You're on top of your reviews. You make sure you have a follow up system for your email marketing set up. Make sure, like, if there's any replies coming in, make sure so you have someone on top of that. Um, and you could also start an ad campaign, retargeting people who've already seen your posts, seen your videos, right? Does every contractor need all of these? No, no, you don't need all of these. You could start one of them, start two of them. You don't need to start all five, right? How can you stay visible to your past people that you've already serviced, right? Make sure they don't forget about you. Yeah, you guys need to take all of these things and put them in place, right? So the contractor who's been visible on their feed, in their emails, is someone you want to be. Someone that's not just forgotten, right? Or not the contractor that disappeared after the job was done, because stuff breaks, stuff happens in the house all the time, right? And you want to be that guy that they could be like, okay, you know what, I see him all the time, let me just call him, right? And that will convert your leads into jobs, right? So it's not like you're not getting visibility. They're just converting that visibility into actual booked appointments, right? Now here's the difference: the invisible contractor gets 2 jobs a month, and he barely converts, right? He barely converts. He had a 50% close rate. But the visible contractor gets around 8 jobs, I mean 8 calls a month, and converts at least 4 to 5, right? Right. So same close rate, same 50% close rate. It's just because they were more visible, the other guy's just closing more jobs, right? Um, we work with contractors who went from losing their jobs to competitors to having more leads that they can't even handle, right? And that all happened because they made the decision themselves that they want to be put out there and be visible to their local area, right? Now that we explained, how to get visible, what you need to do to get visible, how to build your own system to get visible. Now it's just call to action, right? Literally just build your system to get visible. Um, or we can build it out for you, right? Let's just say, you have too much stuff going on your plate, and you don't know how to do, or don't know how to get visible, or don't know how to set this up. It's just too much for you on your plate to handle. We can do it for you as well, right? That's another reason. Um, I throw this out there because we're geniuses at that, right? I could go on and on and on about rants on how we actually psychologically put you and place you guys as the authority in your area, right? So if so I gave you the option, so you could do it yourself, right? Build it all out yourself. But if you want it on book a call with us, I can build you an action plan, and then give you a full breakdown on how we can make this possible, how we could get you top ranked in your area, and completely wipe out all of your competitors in your area, just like how we did with Rose. Let me actually pull up her calendar, just so y'all can see. Um, Holy crap! Okay, what is this? Boom, boom, boom. Every blue thing you see on April just started, but every blue thing you see here is a booked job. Crazy. Last month, February, booked with jobs. booked. I mean, booked with estimates, not with booked with jobs. Booked with on-site estimates. Yeah, but she's converting a lot of them, right? December, real traffic. A lot of people think, oh, things slow down in December. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't slow down. So yeah, um, I know what I'm doing, right? So if you don't want to do it all yourself, go ahead and book that call with me, and we can go ahead and figure out a whole game plan for you. So stop losing visibility in your area, I guess, right? So I guess this is what this video is going to be about. And hopefully you got some value from this video, right? And hopefully you guys can start doing something. Um, if you're just sitting off of referrals and word of mouth right now, so go ahead, go take some action. I gave you two options here, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.